Why is nothing happening in 2019? There's got to be films coming out. What's happening this summer? Just more Marvel crap that I don't care about.
Well, I mean, Avengers Endgame I care about. There's the new Spider-Man film, which looks quite fun. I mean, if you want to come over to Denmark in August, they are going to show The Sisters Brothers.
No. I'm going to try and get that on DVD, actually.
Yeah. I mean, there's that new film, Us. There's Once Upon a Time in...
Yes, that I'm looking forward to.
There's Once Upon a Time...
awesome.
There's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's, I guess, it's the new Tarantino film. That's cool.
I still can't work out whether that's going to be an awful taste, but...
They just made a Netflix TV show, a documentary TV show about Ted Bundy, and the guy who directed that also did the Ted Bundy film with Zac Efron playing Ted Bundy, which just played at Sundance. So I feel like everyone's kind of getting onto the sort of films based off real people kind of thing.
Yeah, let's glamorize serial killers.
Yeah, and I really thought the documentary TV series. I mean, I knew a bit about Ted Bundy because we talked about him on the Sons of the Lambs podcast, but it was really interesting in how, like, it was very creepy as well. Like, just the whole story and how he was able to escape and then be like he defended himself in his trial, like the narcissism. You could just feel all that stuff, and how he didn't admit to killing these people until like a few days before he died and stuff. It was a really interesting documentary, but it was just really kind of like throughout it. I had to watch something funny just to kind of, feel good about myself afterwards. But it was very well done. It was interesting. But I feel with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I'm a bit worried that I hope he doesn't glamorize Charlie Manson or he does something that could be deemed as insensitive.
Really, Tarantino insensitive?
Yeah, I mean, he did have.
Might happen. Actually.
Yeah, it might happen. Yeah. I mean, there's John Wick 3. I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Is it?
Look, Deadwood. Deadwood's coming back.
Yes, that's what I'm excited about. There's nothing else. They gave us a couple of pictures and then not even a trailer. It's already February. What's going on?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I guess they're keeping that pretty close to the chest.
I just don't want it to go away. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it too. Apparently, Nick Pizzolatto, who just released the 3rd season of True Detective, which is actually quite good. It's not as good as season 1, but it's better than season 2. But it's actually really good. Marshall Ali and Stephen Dorff are pretty damn good in it. It's a really... It's,
what were you saying about Nick Pizzolatto and Deadwood?
Nick Pizzolatto, because David Milch, who created Deadwood, he helped with sort of crafting the story for Deadwood and actually is credited on episode 4, which is quite interesting. And you can actually tell that there was a bit of David Milch influence because the word fuck is increased from the previous episode. But sort of tit for tat, Nick Pizzolatto helped out with the script for Deadwood. So... I don't know if he's going to be credited or not on that. Or
so hang on. So you're saying David Milch helped out with the script for
True Detective, and then it was the reverse. Nick Pizzolatto helped out with the script for Deadwood.
There you go.
There's Toy Story 4. That's coming out in August.
Oh, that's a stupid idea. Why would they make a new Toy Story?
I don't know.
Money. Yeah. That's the answer to everything.
There's the second It film that's coming out. I'm looking forward to that.
It's just sequels, isn't it? It's just sequels and rehashes, like Disney, this new Aladdin and all this other stuff. Like, what's new? What are they doing? Like, I do feel at some point is this just going to fall in on itself, or is it everyone's just going to be happy to watch remakes of the rest of their life?
Yeah, I mean that was the thing. Like
even Deadwood, Yeah,
I mean there was the Joe Cornish who did that great film Attack the Block in 2011 with John.
That is a great film
with John Boyega. He just made a film called The Kid Would Be King, and apparently it's like this original like fantasy adventure film in the vein of like Excalibur or something. And it didn't.
Yeah, I saw something about that. That looks
and like somebody said like go see this movie for all you people that are bitching about there's too many remakes and sequels and universe building films. Then here's your fucking movie. Go watch it. Basically.
No, not here's your fucking movie. Make more of them.
Yeah, exactly.
People are bitching about this stuff for a reason. It's like it isn't here's your fucking movie. It's like make more of these, foreground more of these films. It's not about like be content with the one film out of 20 that happens to be original and not a fucking spin-off or a remake. Like, we shouldn't be satisfied with that. We should want more. We should expect more originality and more actual forward motion from Hollywood and from other studios the world over. Because if we don't get that, you end up with inferior versions of classic movies becoming the accepted version, which is not good. You end up with a storyline like Toy Story's one, which is tied up neatly, getting potentially untangled and distorted by a fourth movie. The same thing could be said of a bunch of these continuing films that just don't know when to stop. And then and it's just a lot of content that just feels bad. What if they make it? This is the thing. When we saw that Stella Artois trailer, wouldn't it be terrible if they did another Big Lebowski? I know that we would flock to see it, and I'm sure it would be funny and it would be wonderful to see those characters again, but we don't need to. The Big Lebowski stands on its own as a good film. Leave it alone.
I was listening to an old episode of what's the podcast? It's called On the Page, which is a screenwriting podcast, which is hosted by Pilar Alessandra, and
Pilar.
I was Big Lebowski reference, and they were bringing in a guy talking about, I can't remember what the episode was about, but they were talking about something about continuations of stuff, and people are saying oh, why can't we get another version of Friends? I don't want another version of Friends. Leave that alone.
Enemies. That's what we should have. It's just opposites.
Just
take people who live together who hate each other.
It would be very relatable.
Yeah. Be a film for the Brexit era.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's just I feel like people there's all these continuations of people doing bringing back certain things that were finished before. It's stuff like Twin Peaks. That's kind of the opposite because they didn't get a chance to finish that story. Deadwood is another example.
Deadwood is similar. Yeah,
they never got a chance to finish that story, and hopefully they will be able to. But yeah, I just feel like. Yes, they were very popular back then, and maybe people have discovered this film and feel oh, this is really good. But is there going to be an audience that will flock to see that film? Is it something that we actually need? I recently saw the Predator film, which was Shane Black's kind of attempt at trying to sort of bring energy back to that franchise, which only has really one great film with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And that was a
sentence you don't hear every day.
and that was a very disappointing film, and it has a really stupid sequel baiting ending, which was something that they reshot months before they released the movie. So I'm sure there was some really good intentions with that film, but maybe the Alien franchise, they're just going to keep doing more Alien films. And after Alien Covenant, I'm just I don't want to do any more of that, because what else can you do with that franchise? Because there seems to be no aim in sight. You haven't exactly built up to something, and it just seems like it'll be never ending, and the impact of it won't be the same as it was when the original came out.
No, and I think the only way these people will learn is if people stop going to see them. And I think, unfortunately, there is a great... Even if films are bad, people like going to see them and then talking about how bad they are.
Well, yeah.
I feel like the only franchise that's really being made by people who sort of care about the, the outcomes of, trying to think about the health of the franchise might even be Star Wars. But even there, you've got your Kathleen Kennedy's first priority is always going to be to make sure that there's black ink on the books. So I don't know, man. It's just the whole picture just seems a bit fuzzy to me out there.
Yeah.